I like your smile. If nobody ever told you that, it's probably because your teeth is dingy. But rectify the situation. The year just started. It's too early for you to be walking around here with a yellow mouth. Get this charcoal activated toothpaste and get them pearly whites white. Drop that in the description box and purchase this Lucida, baby. Bye. So y'all, I was in here all day struggling to find something entertainment related to talk about. I kind of reached a creative block. And normally when I experience times like this, I finally give up and give in to the universe and say, Q, why don't you just talk about what's on your mind? Dr. Heavenly called me this morning and her and I were talking as she was headed to Lenox Mall in Atlanta, and it prompted she and I to have a conversation about the violence that's going on in Atlanta and how Buckhead has become the ghetto. And then it also made me think about the recent crimes that have been committed and made the news down here on Miami Beach. And that's what I want to talk about. Crime amongst us good old black folks in prime, prominent destination vacation cities. Want to talk about it? Here you go. Nessa girl, Atlanta has garnered the reputation of being the Wakanda of black people, and I am one of those people that believe we have to protect Atlanta at all costs. Now, not saying that no other city on this earth is great and no other city for black people is great, but Atlanta is a very special city, just like the DCs, the Chicagos, the Houstons, and some of those other great metropolises and meccas for black people. But Atlanta is just it's just a very special place in terms of industry, commerce, black wealth, black education. I think I heard a statistic somewhere that said Atlanta is the nearest biggest city located in between XYZ amount of HBCUs, and that's another contributing factor as to why Atlanta is so great. But as of recently, Atlanta, and in particular Buckhead, which is the Beverly Hills of Atlanta, has been catching a bad rap. Every time you turn on the news or get on Instagram and get on the Shade Room or something, there's been a shooting in Buckhead, a car robbery in Buckhead. I was talking to some friends in Atlanta and they said that the car break-ins in Buckhead have gotten so bad that as a tactic, the people are now taking everything out of their glove box and leaving the glove box open to show to the car thieves, hey, there's nothing in here. Please don't bash my windows. I think the videos that I saw that bothered me the most was when a shootout just popped up in Lenox Mall. And I think it was like a week or two later, there was another one. Then a young child got shot outside of Phipps. Phipps is, for those who don't know what Phipps is the store, is the mall with all the high-end stuff, the Gucci, the Prada, Dolce & Gabbana, all that stuff. That's the real ritzy. And so it's weird because it's counterintuitive to believe that the crime is so high in the most expensive zip code in the damn state. And unfortunately, y'all, this ain't one we could blame on the white people. This ain't the Trump supporters. This ain't the government. This ain't the white man. This is us. And why? You know, I've said this before jokingly, and a lot of people get offended, but I'm going to say it with all sincerity in this moment. I don't understand street people. I didn't grow up around street people. I've come into very little contact with street people, so I don't understand street logic. And quite frankly, I don't know that I want to understand. I don't know that there's no amount of explanation or breakdown that can justify why I'm in the mall with a gun and I am going to partake in a shootout, a reckless shootout, and just not give a damn about anybody else's life. Like, as far as I'm concerned, there's no amount of explaining to me where you come from and how we do it in the streets. I just don't get it. And for me, y'all, the thing that's most baffling and weighing on my heart the most is just the reckless endangerment and how people just have no regard for life. And what's unfortunate is a lot of these occurrences, further support people's reasoning for wanting to keep us out of certain spaces. Black people historically in this country, we tend to be the last to have access to the nice things, the nice neighborhoods, the nice areas, the nice entertainment venues, and then when they do begin to let us in, it's a slow drip until we kick the damn door down and let the floodgates in. But it's kind of like, I would be interested to know or to trace back what specifically in our history leads to this type of behavior. Because not to say that other races don't commit crimes, because they do, and maybe they're committing the same exact crimes we are, and they have the same exact issues, just our stuff is highlighted. I mean, a lot of people like to make that argument, y'all, but I'm gonna keep it 100% real, and I just think it's just some shit that we do that other people don't do. Nigga shit. I honestly just think there's just nigga shit that we do that other people don't do. I was watching the news down here in Miami, and the video went viral because the mayor of Miami Beach was going off. That man was fed up. There was a shooting over the weekend, followed by a rash of robberies that they caught on camera. The shooting really quickly, people were sitting outside or whatever the case may be at a restaurant a couple doors down from finger licking or whatever the case may be, and somebody decided to open fire, I guess at the ops, because the police said that they found 2 different shell casings, which lead them to believe that there was an exchange of fire. And 3 innocent people got shot. And once again, it was us. They showed another video of one of us getting out of a white SUV, holding a gun up to some 3 female white women. They were tourists, and robbing them for their purses and stuff as they taking off running down the street. And a ring light was capturing the whole situation. They later caught the man. The mayor of Miami Beach is going off, talking about same thing T.I. said about Atlanta. He was like, do not come here. If you are planning to misbehave, we don't want you here. Stay where you at, stay home. He was like, this entertainment corridor of South Beach has become ungovernable, and it's about to change. We no longer want that. This is not a party city. This is a cultural Art Deco destination. We have changed to a cultural city, and that is what we want. And it's funny because down here on Miami Beach, let's not get it twisted, we have a very long history of them, not wanting Memorial Day weekend, those big black weekends, those big urban weekends. And the reality of the situation is because y'all and y'all cousins bring y'all ass down here and show the entire fuck out. Now don't get it twisted. The white boys, they get white boy wasted. They get white girl wasted. They have their little fist fights and stuff. When they be down to the whatever, the OK Corral or whatever, the Girls Gone Wild or Panama Beach, they have their ruckus too. Anytime you have young people, alcohol in a large crowd, there is going to be some sort of mess or pandemonium. But it feels like it's worse with us sometimes. And again, I don't know if it actually is or if our stuff is just highlighted. But it's just a certain level of ignorance that comes along whenever we all congregate in one destination city for something. Like, I just don't understand amongst urban culture why ignorance is fun. Why stopping the traffic, bending over in the street, being loud, screaming, holding your leg up on the garbage can with your pussy lips and your ass hanging out. Why is that fun for us? Like, why do we consider that turning up? You know what I'm saying? And the conversations go, oh, bitch, we finna go to Miami and we finna turn up, bitch. I was drunk all down and through that bitch. Walking through the street just loud and ignorant. Why do we do that? Like, why? I don't understand why for us ghetto and ignorant translates to fun. And I'm gonna tell you something. When I was younger, when I was college age, I was one of the ones who used to come to Miami for Memorial Day weekend and wanted to walk up and down the street. But I was civilized. I knew how to act. And I was one of the ones who used to always say the police and the government need to leave these people alone. They need to leave these people alone. They just messing with us because we black. They just messing with us because we black. I'm not gonna lie to you, and this is probably going to sound anti-black to a lot of y'all. Now that I'm a Miami Beach resident, I live in the city of Miami Beach. I am a resident. This is my home, okay? And we are a tourism city. When they have the Art Basels and the different conventions and the different stuff with other groups, we don't have the problems. When it's us, the shit just be a shitstorm. And I'm not gonna lie to you, now that I'm no longer a party goer and a resident, I'm on board. I don't want that shit here. I don't want it here. And while I understand a few bad apples don't represent the entire black community, that black people are not a monolith, just based on what's going on, I can totally understand why them white people don't want our black asses in Buckhead. And it's just a true T. It's just a true T. It's kind of like some of us don't even give us nothing to work with. It's like if I was sitting here having a conversation and somebody was talking about all the shit going on at Lennox and the shooting and stuff, and if they were to slip up and say, that's why we don't want the blacks here. Like, bitch, I probably have to sit at the damn dinner table and just tap my damn leg like this and want to say something because I'm with you when you right. And Dr. Heavenly was telling me that a lot of the stores in Lennox is just closed down. Now, granted, I'm sure that has a lot to do with the pandemic and not to do with the rise in crime. But y'all, we have got to do better within our community. Like, we have got to do better. And I don't know, I think the NAACP, the fraternities and the sororities, listen, and you know, I have a big qualm with the Divine Nine, and I'm part of a Greek letter organization. I'm an alpha. And one of my biggest issues with all of the Greek letter organizations is these outdated, tied through and delayed ass programs. Okay? The programming is old. There is no reason why in 2021 we are doing the same programs that they were doing in 1960. I get legacy, I get tradition, I get all of that, but I also get effectiveness, okay? There needs to be, you know, different programs that have stepped at least into the 90s. Shit, step into the damn 90s, Margaret. We gotta start targeting the youth, y'all. We gotta start targeting the youth, and I'm gonna tell you something. I also used to be one of those people who used to say, it ain't about the entertainment, it ain't about the songs, it's about people raising their kids. Well, society has showed us that people ain't raising their kids, and that the music and stuff is. It's a harsh reality. It don't look like it's gonna change anytime soon with these fucking hot Cheeto hookah smoking ass generation that we in. We got to change this music, y'all. We got to get this music glorifying gangsterism. We got to get it changed. You know, Al Sharpton said it best. Everybody want to talk about they just singing what they know, they singing their experience. And he said back in the day we had songs like Sweet Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. The song wasn't about the cotton picking Negro in the field. That's what they saw, but that's not what they sang about. It's about time we do something different, because what we doing ain't working. What we doing ain't working. I'm sorry. I'm all about the liberation, the female sexual liberation, and I'm all about, you know, representation from different walks of life. But it is time that we stop producing Cardi B clones and fucking NBA young boys. It's time we stop producing that shit. It's not serving us. While I recognize that that is a small demographic of our culture and of people, and that they deserve representation and they deserve to see themselves represented in media as well, it's time that we put the focus elsewhere and we start glorifying and glamorizing something else, because it's not serving us. It's not serving us. It's not serving us. And we've made all of this progress. We can't be making progress with things like Barack Obama being the first black president and Kamala Harris. You know, they're pulling us this way, and then you've got another group of folks that are just determined about pulling us this way. If you got a force pulling us this way and an equal force pulling us that way, we're not going in either direction. We stagnant. We're in a state of suspended animation. We need everybody pulling this way. I don't know. That's what was on my mind today. You know, it gets hard sometimes, because in this woke generation, there's this pressure that's put on people to succeed, to go back to the hood and to go back to where they came from and to invest money in their community, and so on and so forth. And you know, that's a very slippery slope, and it's a very crazy one for me. You know, I'm the first person to tell you I'm from Carroll City. It's now called Miami Gardens. When I was growing up, it was a middle class area. It was a job. It was the area where if your parents grew up, if you got roots in Miami, your people from Overtown, Liberty City. And when your parents got that good job, they got that good county job, and moved on, and was able to move out of Liberty City, you moved to Carroll City, where you had a house with a yard, and everybody's yard was manicured and nice. It's now become the hood. Every time you turn on the news, folks are shooting and carrying on, and it's my hood. And it's unfortunate, because everything that y'all see on this camera that's funky Dineva, I get bothered sometimes because Atlanta gets the credit, but Carroll City is what made me. Every ounce of this humor and this personality. But I'll be the first person to tell you, bitch, I'll die before I move over there. I ain't fucking moving back. I ain't moving back. I ain't moving back, and I rarely go back. And I don't feel bad about it. And ain't a bitch alive gonna make me feel guilty about it, bitch. I wanna be safe. I wanna be safe. I like nice things. And I don't wanna be inundated with ignorance in the fucking ghetto. And that don't make me a bad person. And people try to put this pressure on you. Oh, you got a couple dimes. You supposed to go back and move back to your community. But it's goddamn hard when the community robbing me. It's goddamn hard when I don't feel safe in the community. You also work and achieve so you can live a nice life. You know what I'm saying? Life is not promised. It's very short. Our time on this planet is very short, and I don't want to spend my time fighting. That might be somebody else's calling. It damn sure ain't mine. And y'all ain't finna make me guilty for going back. You make it hard. You make it hard for people who do have something to offer the community to go back. And I know it's a double-edged sword, because it's like if the people who are successful don't go back and give back, then, you know, those that are stuck there in the impressionable minds are not going to get the influence that they need. And I completely understand that, but it ain't my problem. They're gonna have to catch they're gonna have to catch the influence from me on the internet. And that's just true tea. God put me on this earth to focus on this mission. Send the next Fannie Lou Hamer over there. It ain't me. That's all I got. This getting me to go somewhere else, so I'm finna get off the line. I'll call y'all later. Bye. Stay black and try not to die.